Patriots Nation, take a deep breath. There's an earthquake in Foxborough today. 4 pieces are shifting the board. A name seemingly out of nowhere. A swing that could flip the AFC on its head. A big money investment starting to silence critics. And an aggressive posture behind the scenes that promises to jolt the preseason. There's speed, there's pressure on the quarterback, and there's long-term vision. Who said 2025 would be nothing but a rebuild? What if the turnaround is already happening right in front of us? You won't believe what we've got today. So sit down, hit that like button, and let's dive straight into the news. What if the offensive spark starts with a name almost no one had on the board? Phil Lutz, the wideout who took the road less glamorous, Tufts, then Delaware. Invited to rookie minicamp, just signed with the Patriots right before Thursday's preseason finale against the Giants on August 21 at MetLife Stadium. The move coincided with Isaiah Ayton heading to injured reserve, opening a spot for the rookie to show what he's got. Sounds minor? Stay with me. Beyond juicing competition in the receiver room, Lutz's arrival tweaks third down packages and gives the staff ammo for last-minute adjustments before roster cutdowns. It's an underdog with perfect timing and a national stage to prove it. Lutz isn't just another camp body. In 2024, he led Delaware with 45 catches, 63 yards, and 11 touchdowns across 2 seasons with the Blue Hens. He hit 59 for 1,171 and 12 scores. Before that, he exploded at Tufts with 52 receptions, 2,268 yards, and 18 touchdowns. He lands in Foxborough with the right mindset, talking openly about seeking discomfort and daily growth, and he's already on the field in 16. One important detail, he took part in the local pro day and rookie minicamp, a signal the front office's interest goes back to April. College production, a steady development curve, and a history of winning intermediate routes make him a profile built for an immediate test. The competitive landscape is deep and unforgiving. Stephon Diggs sets the standard for separation and leadership. Demario "Pop" Douglas is a headache in short space. Mac Hollins brings size and blocking, and the youth battle is on fire with Kyle Williams, Efton Kism III, Javon Baker, and Jalen Polk. On some depth charts, Lutz slots as a back-end option, but the latter is real. Baker has been flashing on special teams, securing snaps with versatility. Kism has become a useful piece in preseason, and Polk is still fighting for volume after an up-and-down 2020. Lutz steps into that cauldron with one trump card, attacking soft zones on rhythm. The path for Lutz to crack the 53 comes in 2 lanes. First, immediate utility as a slot option in 11 personnel, winning on options, digs, and crossers to convert short third downs. Second, special teams impact, gunners who tackle, block on returns, and play with edge get real currency when the 53 is set. Thursday offers the perfect stage, tight game, situational calls, and Let's talk about the weight of the target. Hendrickson posted 17.5 sacks in 2024 and is riding a streak of Pro Bowls with first-team All-Pro credentials. This isn't hype, it's sustained elite production with back-to-back 17.5 sack seasons and a mountain of pressure since 2021. That changes game plans, protections, and your blitz calculus. Put him on the edge, and you force the quarterback to climb right into the zone where New England's interior wants to crush the pocket. It's the geometry of pressure. Collapse the middle, set the hook outside, then reel in hurried throws and bad decisions. The financial timing fits too. The Patriots lead the league in cap space. That's not just margin, it's ammunition to absorb a new deal, while keeping flexibility for in-season moves. Translation, you can pay a star without cannibalizing the young core. That matters when you're building a sustainable identity. Keep the quarterback protected, keep the pass rush scary, and keep the books clean enough to pivot if an unexpected opportunity pops up in November. What about the price? The rumor mill throws around a first-rounder and a young defender, which explains why interested teams are cautious. There's buzz that New England is weighing cost-benefit with a cold eye and sees Cincinnati's ask as above the sweet spot, even while keeping tabs and staying engaged. This is the dance. Test the market, push the limits, let the clock tick, and strike when the leverage flips your way. And the philosophical green light came straight from Elliott Wolf. He's on record being open to a blockbuster for the right player at the right price. That's not a throwaway line, it's a posture. Local chatter is picking up steam, openly debating how much of the public stance is tactical posturing, a sign there's real activity behind the curtain. Fold in Mike Rabel's daily sermons about identity and pass rush physics, and the calendar tells you the staff is in full evaluation mode on the eve of that Giants game. On the field, the fit is crystal clear. Hendrickson gives Rabel a closer for 3rd and long, lets you rush 4 more often, elevates pressure rate without gambling, and speeds up the opposing QB's internal clock. It also amplifies the value of the interior. When the middle pushes, the QB steps into a vise, and the locker room. Fans feed off aggression. Memories flood back of eras when New England landed stars to complete the puzzle. Fair question. Is it worth shipping draft capital during a build? The answer lives in January. If a top 10 defense is attainable with a true closer, the immediate return can outweigh the uncertain prospect. If you're going to pounce, you pounce when the market blinks. You know those games that turn before the opening kickoff? The clue just surfaced in the trenches. Mike Rabel barely smiled, but the praise slipped out, and it's gold. The new pillar in the defensive interior is making opposing quarterbacks climb the pocket and speed up their decisions. You know the name, but you might still be underrating him. Milton Williams, the offseason splurge, is starting to validate every cent with the kind of work that rarely shows on a box score, collapsing the middle with consistency and discipline. Rip after rip right. Now let's anchor that with facts, not vibes. Williams arrived on a 4-year, $104 million deal after hoisting the trophy in Philadelphia, and he entered Foxborough tagged as an ascending piece. This wasn't a check written to fame. It was a technical bet. The staff's plan is simple and cruel. Shove quarterbacks into the funnel where the edges wait, cut blitz rates, boost 4-man pressure, and protect the secondary so it can break routes on timing. When that blueprint hits, the defense plays. If you watched the 2012 win over the Vikings, you saw the script, the pocket squeezing from the center, the quarterback trying to escape straight ahead and running into the danger zone. It doesn't always become a sack, but it almost always becomes a rushed throw, a truncated read, a live ball. That's how one of the week's signature plays was born. Interior pressure, forcing a mistake, and the defense cashing in on a short field. Those repetitions change, 3rd downs, time of possession, and eventually, the scoreboard. The supporting cast multiplies the damage. Christian Barmore is a double-team magnet, which opens alleys for Williams to win one-on-one. Harold Landry, a veritable favorite, slides into that finisher role on 3rd and long, while Kalavon Chason adds situational burst in sub-packages. Kasharius Tonga keeps the heft inside, allowing the rotation to stay strong without a steep drop-off. Layer on a snap philosophy that spreads the workload, and you start to see why pressure tends to spike in the 4th quarter. Fresh legs, clean technique, fewer 5-man gambles, more suffocation with 4. The inevitable question, will the box score ever make noise? Williams effectively answered early. Numbers are a consequence of the job. On tape, the signs are already there. Clean first step, active hands, protection recognition in half-man angles to attack the inside shoulder, and that rare ability to turn his hips without losing leverage. Technically, he's the glue of the project. He creates chaos without relying on blitz, shields the back end, and sets the physical tone variable demands. If he sustains this level, New England's defense trades volatility for identity, and that's how a unit becomes trustworthy in December. There's also the psychological effect you can't chart, but every fan feels when the center of the pocket predictably caves, the opponent's mental clock shrinks by a sec. That second is where the moonball turns into a pick, where a strip sack appears, where an offense abandons slower developing concepts. That's how a defense becomes a single organism, new pieces locking into defined roles, a shared language, and small wins stacked snap after snap. If the foundation is firm, the ceiling rises fast, and the next piece of that foundation might surprise you even more than you think. Just when you thought you'd seen it all, the philosophical shift shows up, the kind that can redefine a franchise's identity. Elliott Wolf, the executive running football operations, didn't hedge. He's absolutely open to a big move in the coming weeks. And it wasn't only when asked about Trey Hendrickson. It applied to any talent who fits the immediate impact profile. That line is music to a fan base tired of conservative moves since the departure of number 12. Now the vibe is that the tide's turning. It's impossible not to think of the days when Bill Belichick shocked the world by bringing in Randy Moss or Corey Dillon, leveling up the team from one season to the next. After years of tepid bets, this aggressive tone feels like nostalgia for a winning era. The difference now is Mike Vrabel at the helm, asking for physical identity and consistency every time he steps to the mic. The combination of a head coach thirsty for instant impact and a GM willing to open the checkbook creates the perfect runway for a strategic pivot. If Hendrickson is the hottest name, imagine the audacity of aiming at Micah Parsons amid his contract standoff in Dallas. Is that a dream? Maybe, but just mentioning it jolts the fan base and forces rivals to pay attention. Moves of that magnitude don't just fortify the front seven, they send a clear message that the Patriots are back in the big game business, with surplus cap and draft capital in hand. Wolf has the latitude to engineer a masterstroke without derailing the long-term build. And it's not just about names. What Wolf revealed is a mindset. He and Reable share a vision that culture is built on toughness, work ethic, and elite talent. Unlike recent years, when signings felt scattershot, now every move looks like part of a bigger puzzle. The offense gets oxygen, with underdogs like Phil Lutz fighting for a lane. The defense finds a new anchor in Milton Williams. And behind the scenes, there's a willingness to spend picks and dollars for superstars. When those three layers align, the result is transformation. Fans can feel it. Every trade rumor ignites comments across forums, social feeds, and local shows. Some demand all-out aggression. Others fear sacrificing high picks. But the truth is, after years in limbo, the word ambition is back in Foxborough's vocabulary. That's pure fuel for a season, many labeled a bridge year. And if Reable's first season delivers a playoff berth, the table is set. The question isn't whether something will happen, it's which bombshell lands first. And that brings us full circle. After 4 shockwaves in a row, the feeling is clear. The Patriots are no longer the team lost in its own maze. Phil Lutz rekindled the underdog fire this franchise has always embraced. The Hendrickson buzz showed a front office ready to be aggressive again. Milton Williams is already changing the defense's DNA, with impact that rarely shows up on spreadsheets, but wrecks game plans. And Elliott Wolf put it on the record. There's no fear of thinking big. Which of these moves do you think will shape this season the most? Drop your take in the comments, smash the like button, share this with your crew, and subscribe, because the revolution in Foxborough has already started, and we're riding every step together.